After taking last week off, we've got some catching up to do. In addition to this week's hottest topics, we'll also take a look back and see what was trending among gay socialites last week. Plus, we'll tell you where you can find anything you need to know about this week's Gay Pride celebration in New York City. All that and more is coming up as we review the hottest topics at GaySocialites.com on the popularity contest. In the next few minutes, we're going to whip across the web and bring you up to speed on what everybody's talking about. Hello, I'm Charles Winters. Let's get started with this week's top stories. The first is from Kevin Nowinski, and it's a Daily Dapper.
Number 3.
The title, Wainwright, Epiphany Get Paid, and Danny Daniels Walk into a Bar, doesn't exactly say it all, but it definitely sets the tone. Nowinski takes us through an evening with he and Amanda Darling. To sum it up, a run-in with porn star Pierre Finch kicks off their adventures, and along the way, they pick up Rufus Wainwright at the Cock during hot and horny Mondays, and it ends with shade from Epiphany Get Paid. When it's all said and done, they got serenaded by Wainwright, but practically ignored his request to find him some pot. Or, that's what they published anyway. You can keep up with the Daily Dapper regularly at GaySocialites.com.
Number 2.
A little later, GaySocialites.com's Joshua Sean will be here to tell you how to find out where we're partying this weekend. One of those events is Sunday, high above 5th Avenue, where we'll join Hayes Music for their party, Pride, A Deeper Love. Also, a birthday party for Mob Watch star, Big Ange. GaySocialites.com's editor-in-chief Thomas Bistris conducted an interview with Big Ange this week, and that's our second most popular story. In that discussion, we learned that Big Ange is a woman of few words, but lots of plastic surgery. Big Ange responded to Radar Online's claims that she's obsessed with plastic surgery, saying, "I love looking good, so plastic surgery does it for me." She also told Thomas that she, despite claims by other mob families, is not a rat for doing the show. She also said she'll be back for another season of Mob Wives, as well as her own show, The Big Ange Show, later this year. Stay tuned to find out how you can party with Big Ange for her birthday on Gay Pride Sunday in New York.
And here's number 1.
The most popular story this week is a bit of a masturbation situation, and it has Abercrombie & Fitch facing a $1 million lawsuit. Benjamin Bowers, who was hoping to jump from Abercrombie sales associate to catalog cover model, says the photographer told him to masturbate, which would supposedly release some tension resulting in better pics. After doing so, Bowers says the photog whipped out his penis and compared it to his. Now Benjamin is suing Brian Hilburn and A&F for $1 million. We'll be watching that one. As we take a look back at last week, we find out it wasn't the best week for happy news at GaySocialites.com. Our number 3 story revealed that popular gay porn actor Eric Rhodes has died. At the young age of just 30, Rhodes, whose real name was James Naughton, passed away in his sleep after suffering a heart attack. His Tumblr blog practically foreshadowed his untimely but seemingly inevitable early passing. There he spoke frankly about his struggle with crystal meth and use of anabolic steroids. You can read more of Eric's eerie chronicle of his own decline at ericrhodes.tumblr.com. The hottest topic so far this year at GaySocialites.com took the first and second most popular spots last week. In our top story, nightlife personality Jamie Raniere told GaySocialites.com exclusively that she was choked by another patron at a bar inside Yotel, while another patron attacked her friend after hurling homophobic remarks at him. Jamie said she turned to the bar staff for help, but was seemingly left to deal with the situation herself. In the second most popular story of the week, GaySocialites.com spoke exclusively with Yotel Director of Operations Jeffrey Mills, who admits mistakes were made, but believes his staff handled the situation well. Mills reviewed security footage in which he says you can see the bartender send for bouncers. That, he says, is how they made it to the incident when they did, as one of them was holding Jamie by the neck, and her friend had been effectively gay-bashed. The victim, who wishes to remain anonymous, walked away with several lacerations and a black eye. He and Jamie were a bit shaken up, to say the least. The two attackers, they were bounced from the bar. We have a couple of updates for you on this story. Since the incident, Jamie reached out to the Anti-Violence Project, who has done some community outreach in the area, including drop-ins to Yotel staff, telling them how to handle a biased crime should another one happen there. Jamie, however, despite being offered a free bar tab, says she is never going back to Yotel. She and the other victim want a public apology, but the hotel management refuses. Each week we tell you where the new stories fall on the countdown. However, we've never mentioned the archives, until now. From now on, we'll also be telling you about these oldies but goodies. Here's Ian with this week's Look Back.
In this week's countdown, last week's top stories grew in popularity. We told you earlier about the Yotel gay bashing and the hotel's response, as well as the death of porn star Eric Rhodes. Those two stories soared in popularity this week as well. However, 3 more archives also resurfaced. Our most popular story 2 weeks ago, with videos said to be a real live mermaid, was back near the top of the countdown this week, as was a story from 2011 in which we asked if Sean William Scott might be gay. Let's hope not, since the American Pie actor recently married a woman. And finally, a story from a few weeks ago about the Queer as Folk cast reuniting was also among this week's popular archives. You can read those stories in their entirety by searching for Mermaid, Sean William Scott, and Queer as Folk at GaySocialites.com. Reporting from Gay Socialites Archives, I'm Ian Teigman.
Thanks, Ian, for that look back. That almost does it for this episode of the Popularity Contest. But since it's Gay Pride here in New York, before we go, here's GaySocialites.com's Joshua Sean with the look at some Pride musts.
This week, we introduced the newest addition to the Gay Socialites media group at GaySocialites.info. GaySocialites.info will soon become New York's gay handbook with reviews and ratings for some of the city's finest gay-friendly establishments. This week, however, GaySocialites.info is the home of the GaySocialites Pride Guide. There you'll find everything from tips to musts, including event listing, a parade route, and our list of the who's who of Gay Pride. You can check it all out by logging on to GaySocialites.info or by clicking the Pride Guide emblem on the main page. Reported from GaySocialites.info, I'm Joshua Sean.
Thanks, Sean. That does it for this episode of the Popularity Contest. For everyone here at GaySocialites.com, I'm Charles Winters. We'll see you next week.